For our feature match of the day, we have Gladiator Beast versus Marincess post Chaos Impact, guys. Welcome to MST.TV. I am your commentator, Tombox, and yeah, I am on the left side of this match, and Mr. Tyler, the Langis Monarch, is on the right side. Respectively, I am on Team My Sexy Team versus Langis's RNG Legacy. And this is a very fun one. And look at here, I won the dice roll, or the die roll rather, and I open with a fairly interesting hand. I have a choice to make here. My choice is to play the Rescue Rabbit, or play Unexpected Die, or I can summon my Andal. Wow, all these choices end the other path completely, so of course go with the Rabbit because the Rabbit offers you 2 monsters out of the deck, netting you at least a +1, and with the 2 Andal I can immediately go into the Test Panther. Now this matchup has a few interesting quirks that can be addressed. Now, the Marincess, they struggle to deal big damage without the field spell, and without big damage, that is a big problem. And if you guys have seen my previous deck profile regarding Glad Beast, of course the gold second Glad Beast, excuse me, that particular deck profile highlighted why I wouldn't play Double or Nothing, and this is one of the reasons why. I don't know why. Ever since I've put in Double or Nothing into my decks, I've been drawing it like non-stop, like at an unreasonable rate. Like if you play 7 games, I would draw it 6 times in the opening hand, making it a completely dead card in most cases. And I can't even shuffle it back into the deck because I don't have yugioh in the extra deck. So proceeding to full combo here, well, this is not the fullest of combos. The full combo would have 1 additional extender, so I can actually use the effect of Editor twice. So I go into Augustus. Augustus summons out the Atorix in hand, and I believe this is summoned through the Test Panther effect, and I'm going to dump the second Augustus into the graveyard. Matching the level. Remember, Atorix can also send stuff in the extra deck, so this in case you don't have something in your hand. And we're gonna summon out Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor, or rather, Extend Handshake GG. Now I get to use my own Glad Beast version of Agripane. Very broken card. Well, it's not really that broken. You have to still meet the conditions to summon it, but of course, being able to summon up Glad Beast fusion monsters without meeting their summoning conditions, by ignoring their conditions completely. I have 1 monster negate through the effects of Domitianus, or someone told me that's how you pronounce it. I could have been completely butchering it, but for now I'm just gonna call it Domitianus because of whatever it is. So I get to control the battle phase, and my opponent gets to declare the attack, and oh, there's my hand right there. Double or Nothing, Andal plus Unexpected Die. Wow, what a great hand. So starting off with the special summon on Langis' side, we see a Swap Frog. He's going to activate the effect. Here's the thing, should I negate the summon here? I believe no. There's no point in negating that summon because he still has the potential of going into, well, I guess Marincess, and he can get that summon through. I only have 1 negate here. I have control over the battle phase, but I absolutely have no form of negation whatsoever. Okay, so he dumps into the Ronin Totem. Now remember, not all of the Marincess monsters in the in the extra deck rather, require a Marincess monster. Anything linked to and above starts going into more generic territory of just water. And we're seeing a second Swap Frog being special summoned. Wow, he has a lot of frogs. So he's got himself a totally awesome ready to go, or rather even just has 2 water. Now, Sea Archiver is such a good card to discard into the graveyard because it can summon itself out, and a lot of people have been testing out Marincess by giving them additional water extenders. Sea Archiver makes a lot of sense because you can search it out with Cyanide Mining if you already have everything that you want. Or also, if you actually dump it into the graveyard through Cyanide Mining, then you can utilize it later on, so you know, no real losses there. So yes, we were just discussing right there a moment ago about Editor. One of the crazy aspects about Editor is that it is not hard once per turn. It carries the old once per turn clause, which means if you flip it face down, remove from the field, or anything above, you can use this effect once again. So if I special summon him from the graveyard, ooh, another effect. So I can summon multiple monsters from the extra deck. Normal summon of the Blue Tang. I've been given a choice. Do I negate it or not? And it's pretty obvious that I do not negate it at this point, because if I negate it, it's a terrible move. You might be wondering, oh, why is it a terrible move? Well, the Blue Tang will die. It will be destroyed and sent to the graveyard, but then he's going to proceed to actually make Coral Anemone, revive it, and then proceed to make full combo based off of that. So I'm going to allow him to move past that. He's going to go into Marincess Seahorse, do the Blue Tang effect, sending it to the graveyard, and upon Link summoning into a water monster, we're going to see, I guess, more cards being activated. Get the excavate cards and get the add cards back. Blue Tang, or sorry, Blue Slug, Blue Tang, you know, chain links. Yeah, he's in a pretty good spot. He can actually play out of this. Definitely able to play around the Damatianus and not lose a lot of cards along the way. Toad is definitely going to be summoned this turn. There's no way that Toad won't be summoned, and I am really worried about getting baited. Now, if you guys don't know the stats of Damatianus, it's 3,500 attack, so that's a really big sword that he's carrying. And as for Editor, he's got a really big shield. We've got 3,000. He's got excavating. He got the field spell through the excavation. Well, I guess you don't have to go into Sea Angel anymore, or perhaps if you do go into Sea Angel, you're using it strictly just for the arrow. So we got our frog. We have our blue slug, Blue Tang, Blue Slug, and we're gonna see a special summon of our seahorse. Now the arrow is gonna be kind of pointless right now because the arrow is gonna be pointing to the frog, unless he wants to summon his frog right there. Of course, he's summoned to an arrow. Sea Archiver gets to be special summoned out of the graveyard or hand. Well, since he did use the effect of Blue Slug, he's locked into water monsters only from the extra deck. I believe, no, for the rest of the turn. This is a very kind of sensitive or fragile situation. Depending on what happens, if I choose to negate early, I might lose my entire board because he can actually outdo me in terms of attack. Okay, the field spell has been dropped. Battle Ocean. So all Marincess monsters gain 200 attack, and if you equip something onto your monster, well, it'll be gaining 600 attack per equipped Link monster onto your new extra Monster Zone Link. So always activate that card. It creates some pretty interesting chain blocks, or if you guys don't want to use the term chain block, you can build up a chain so that your monster cannot be negated. The attaching or the equipping effect is not once per turn, and that's why it's very difficult to negate the monster effect. So if they go into a blue slug, for instance, you just can't really do anything about it. And the Coral Anemone's effect to add a card back to the grave, from the graveyard rather, that's also very difficult to negate, especially if they just link summon into something else. Okay, Toad has been summoned, and we're gonna see Sea Archiver. Sea Archiver, I believe, is supposed to get banished. And we're gonna see Marbled Rock. I think Marbled Rock is actually the better of the two boss monsters. Like, Wonder Heart is amazing, don't get me wrong, but opening, you want to grind it out, you need the Marbled Rock. Coral Anemone adds back a card back to the hand. Yeah, just choosing not to negate anything because Toad is now out. I don't want my monsters to die. But here's the thing. The only monster that's really big is well, I guess they got the Marbled Rock that's super big right now. I believe the Marbled Rock gains 1200 plus 1400 total, so that's about 49 attack. I need to keep my Damatianus alive because I need that monster effect negation. We're going to probably point that attack to my Test Panther. I get to choose the attack targets after all. That's a non-activating effect, so it's continuous. I'm going to take massive damage. I want to keep the Editor because now that the extra monster zone is open, Editor gets to resummon onto the extra monster zone, and Gazaris is probably looking like a very solid choice, popping 2 cards. And if they try to negate it with Toad, well, Damatianus will be able to say no to that. Yeah, just taking 31 to the face for sure. Now we can highlight some of the weaknesses of Marincess. The field spell. Once you get rid of that field spell, it's extremely problematic. So standby phase, totally awesome. Of course, don't forget to summon out the Dupe Frog to control attack targets. Seems like both sides of our fields have some form of negation and some form of battle phase manipulation. So that's why I'm saying this matchup, you know, it's got its quirky neats, little beats to it. Okay. And well then, now I have to contemplate. Does he have the The Marincess waves in his hand or in his back row. Does he have Lost Wind? All that can change up how this game plays out. My hand, of course, is not ideally that great. So I am going to choose to activate the effective editor and hope that he does not have something. But even if he does, I do have a comeback and hope that I can actually come back from that. Okay, well, I'm going to negate that. Totally awesome. Since he decided to chain it that way. He's manipulating the battle. I think he could have done it differently, but apparently not. He's going to go ahead and do that. Well, then, I'm just going to straight up summon Gazaris. And we're going to build up this chain link here. Chain link 1, I believe. Well, it's trigger effect, so I guess I'll be chain link 1. Chain link 1, Gazaris. Chain link 2, totally awesome. Of course, he chose to add back his Swap Frog. And I would get to pop 2 cards. There's not much he can really do about it. Well, Battle Ocean's definitely going into the graveyard. Unfortunately, just putting in the Battle Ocean into the graveyard doesn't exactly mean too much because Marble Rock can just add it back to hand, of course. Gazaris does target, and he's going to hit away my Test Panther. That is a pretty big deal. Hitting away the Test Panther is huge because he basically preemptively negated my my next play before I even got a chance to it. Now, Gazaris with, again, if you've seen the previous video, Gazaris plus a comeback in the graveyard and a monster usually leads to a completely full counter board as long as the Gazaris can attack, and Gazaris has just attacked. Of course, in defense mode, no damage has been dealt. He gets to search. My Damatianus has already negated, so there's nothing I can do about this particular play. He's gonna add another Swap Frog. I can definitely try and battle. So yeah, I'm gonna try and battle the Marble Rock. Marble Rock has an effect to kind of cancel out the effect. And then here's the funny thing. The effect of Marble Rock does not negate the battle. It lets the battle go through. So in other words, the Glad Beast monster can still tag out if needed. But I'm definitely not tagging out Damatianus. Damatianus is just a bit too oppressive for me to do anything about that. And I can't even use Editor because Editor is too weak compared to the Marble Rock, just by 100 points, so that's unfortunate. But would I have smacked into it regardless? Probably not, because that is not summoned through the effect of Gladiator Beast's comeback. So I'm Gladiator Beast a quest and probably Darius, because that way I can get a card back from each one, completely manipulating my hand, so those are the ideal 2 targets. But there's a problem. The problem right now is my zonings are all wrong. My zoning's done incorrectly, and there's another problem. Because Darius revived the monster, if Darius leaves the field, the Augustus will also be shuffled back into the deck. And this is the comeback issue that I kind of want to highlight in this particular video. The reason why I'm thinking so long is, oh, why don't you just link everything off and then use comeback, revive the editor, and keep going? The problem is the Darius. The Darius is a beast warrior, and the comeback has to special summon something that is not of something that you control. So I got rid of it, and now I'm looking at it, I'm like, hold on a second, this is a misplay here, because the ideal thing to go into would have been using the Darius and the Augustus plus the other monster to just go straight into a Decode Talker. That would have been a bit more ideal, leaving the quest on the field. And then I can actually use the effect of a comeback to revive additional monsters. That would have been a bit better. Or perhaps even go into a Nightmare monster, a Unicorn, to spin back the back row. That would have been a little bit better as well. So basically, I'm forced to link into a Decode Talker. I don't have a link for it. I don't have a Boral Sword. I don't have an Appaloosa. Perhaps Appaloosa would have been also a pretty good choice at that point. Unfortunately, I don't have that, and now I'm going to try to use comeback. And Imperial Order has been activated in response. This completely cripples me because I actually just reduced my board control by quite a bit. So, misplays on my part. I got overly greedy. I did not read an Imperial Order. I mean, who would read an Imperial Order? I thought it was more like a lost... Well, it definitely wasn't a lost win. I thought it was more like another Call by the Grave. But at least Deco Target does prevent targeting on my Domitianus, but I will have to sack my Domitianus to get that particular protection. So kind of a moot point. It's just a 20, I believe it's a 28 beater at this point. Another suggestion that someone made in the comment section previously is that why don't you use the Draco Masters of the 10 Yi? It only requires a Link monster plus another one. It's a Link 3, and it can pop monsters based off of the amount of non-effect monsters in your graveyard. So we're gonna see Marble Rock's effect. Add back a card. No, hold on. Even I'm kind of lost in the commentary. Oh, I'm just gonna negate and destroy it. Okay, well then. That's pretty good. But those two monsters will be popped. And Coral Anemone is going to activate and add back a card regardless. But at least this play, the body has been removed. Hopefully. At least hopefully. I believe my top deck of the previous turn was a Phantasme. That's what I'm hoping. Is it Phantasme? Then I'll have the utmost amount of targeting negation, which is very good for this situation. So he's gonna dump into the graveyard a Marincess Mandarin. He also has a Foolish Burial. I think one of the biggest problems on the field right now for Tyler is the Imperial Order. Remember how I mentioned earlier that to get a good battle out of Marincess, you need to be able to use the field spell? Well, I'm not gonna destroy that field spell anytime soon. So he goes into Blue Slug. I can't do anything. I have no form of negation. I have no form of interaction, except for maybe Phantasme. And there's a special summon of Seahorse. You can actually be very patient with most of the Marincess because at Blue Slug, there's no threat. They have to continue to combo. If they don't continue to combo, they don't actually gain that control. So you usually can get to about 2 Link monsters, and then you can actually dig deeper. So there's the Phantasme activation. Reveal, and does he have an Ash? Well, he has an Ash in deck, but nothing in hand, so we're good to go on this point. Now, adding the Battle Ocean, it's like, oh my god, he's got the Battle Ocean, but there's no way. Oh my goodness! Yes! I get to put back that Double or Nothing. Thank god. Yeah, Double or Nothing, you can go back into the deck, please. And Andal too, then I can actually use my other cards. So my cards are now live once again. I guess there was a way for me to fix my hand. Who needs Saryuja when you have Phantasme? And we see a special summon of the Mandarin. As long as he doesn't have any type of targeting effects, we're good to go. Now here's the thing about Blue Slug. If you use Blue Slug's effect, you're locked into water. So in terms of the game state right now, what water monster would be able to do that kind of damage? You can't go into Nightmare Phoenix to pop a back row either. Being locked into just water monsters? Can you guys think of a situation where he can actually get out of this one? I mean, he could pass turn. But no, there's no way he's just gonna pass turn. At the very least, he's going to try to summon one form of a negator or not. Going into Crystal Heart or perhaps even Wonder Heart, maybe that's a possibility. Wonder Heart could probably summon out another copy of not Coral Anemone, but the Marbled Rock and get some level of advantage. Now, Tyler's proceeding to summon, Link summoning out a Coral Anemone, special summoning out Blue Tang. I think in the previous turn, I think Tyler forgot to activate the effect of Marble Rock to get an additional card, but is it a very big deal at this particular state of the game? Oh man, he is stuck with only bad decisions. There's the Crystal Heart. Unfortunately, Crystal Heart's effect only really works when you have the field spell. Again, the Imperial Order really just letting him down. Okay, so the Blue Tang whiffed. Did not get a Marincess card. I think he was really hoping for a Waves. Yeah, but no luck there. He can go into something big. I think ideally the best card to go into would probably be the Marbled Rock. Oh, but he's gonna set up another Toad because he can. Special summon. He's gonna get his Toad ready. He really wants to use the Battle Ocean, but he can't. He can activate it, but well, it's negated. Summoning a Toad in a weird zone. Is there an arrow there? Oh, there is an arrow there. Yes, Crystal Heart gave it to him. Okay, even though the Battle Ocean is negated, just remember that it can still be used to block off chains, because you can still constantly activate it. Nope, scoop phase it is. He's like, ah, this does not look good at all, and he of course doesn't have control over the battle phase. So we are moving on to game 2. Well, that was kind of an interesting game. Am I going first or am I going second? Okay, sided into the deck. I think, is there a Kaiju? Okay, there's a Kaiju and double Atorix. I have the extender, I have the popper, I have the starter. It's looking pretty good. So we're gonna start off by seeing a Marincess Blue Slug and the Seahorse combo. So this is the non-Blue Tang combo, just the old school one where you can go into Sea Angel. Sea Angel fetches the field spell. Standard plays. Most of the Marincess combos are rather linear for the most cases. They clearly did not open a Frog, so we're good. Oh, but he did have a Mandarin in hand, so he gets to extend into Wonder Heart if he so chooses. Normally people don't want to do the Wonder Heart opening play. Wonder Heart's more like an aggressive monster. So, oh, he did have the Frog. He just had everything. Well, I completely misread that particular play. And he gets Nibiru. Well, so 1-2 from the Blue Slug, 3-4 from the Sea Angel, 5 from the Mandarin, 6 from the Frog. So he can summon a Toad? Yeah, he can definitely drop into the Toad into the graveyard, and then he'll have a token. This is not a particularly strong defensive token because most of the monsters were Link, and Mandarin has rather low stats. No problem, no problem. It's just a Nibiru, and Nibiru now has offered me 1 body so that I can proceed to make my board. I can go to Test Panther using Nibiru, although that does seem like a bit of a waste of a 3000 attack body. And there's the Toad. He can wall up for sure with the Toad, but do you think he can actually live an additional turn past this? Don't check the time code. If you check the time code, it's gonna ruin your experience with this game. I guess the real question right now is, can Tyler come back from the Nibiru? If you think about it, he should be able to, but he did commit a lot of cards from his hand. Normally, like, you can just use 1 card and just do your combo, eat the Nibiru, and then try to survive the turn. If you survive the turn, most of your resources are still in your hand. You can still keep playing, especially with 1 card combos. In fact, 1 card combos are the best ways to deal with Nibiru. If you're just going to eat it, at least you didn't commit. Oh my goodness. Now Widow Anchor can't take that Nibiru token because that's not an effect monster. But he has 1 back row. 1 back row is a major threat because Gladiator Beast also has a pretty big choke point. It's the Test Panther. Just negate the Test Panther. You effect failure or imperm the Test Panther, you're usually good to go. But if they open with Sky Striker cards, then that's not a possibility. Yeah. So we're gonna go into comeback, special summon Atorix. I can normal summon the second Atorix. Do it. Do it, Tombox. Do it. Okay, there's the some normal summon of the Atorix. I'm keeping the Nibiru. Slight poor management of the zoning on my part. Nibiru being in the middle, not really good. Oh my god, there it is. Negation of the Test Panther, and it's permanently negated, and that is a big problem. Lost Wind? Oh, I've seen actually people misplay Lost Wind. They try to use Lost Wind on normal summon monsters. That does not work, by the way. It's special summon monsters only. And swing. And he's gonna take 3k to the face. That puts him down to 5,000. Hold on. No, that's not true. I actually took damage on that play. Lost One, don't forget, Lost One also cuts my attack in half. So we caught the play, we rewound, and now I took damage, and now Tyler takes no damage whatsoever. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. That was a big misplay on my part. I could have dealt, I believe I could have dealt 400 damage, guys. It's a lot of damage. But now, in fact, I took a bit of damage myself. And Pot of Desires. He's taking a pretty big gamble? No, he already actually used most of his resources. The only thing he's really losing are his traps and his control cards, but as long as he can draw it into some form of an opener, it's okay. I don't think yeah, there's no way he could have like screwed himself over. He could lose all his frogs, perhaps. We won't know. That pile is now a random pile of cards. Well, there's the Battle Ocean, and therefore that didn't get banished either. Losing the Battle Ocean in the Pot of Desires makes a really difficult battle for the Marincess. Marincess' extra deck is already super tight. And we're gonna see a Toad. Oh boy! He can Toad up right now, but then he can't kill Nibiru, so that's not ideal either. He can also go into a Coral Anemone. And okay, well, he looks like he is making the coral. And yes, yeah, coral's down. He's not using Battle Ocean effect. Well, I guess it's kind of pointless to him. He knows I have no response. Summon, we get a Blue Slug. Blue Slug gets to add back one of the Marincess. We get to add back the Seahorse. Seahorse actually can summon out again. We're gonna link those two off now into Marble Rock. The effect of the field spell lets us equip, so we get a Coral Anemone, Blue Angel, or sorry, the Sea Angel, and Blue Slug. And of course, there is a major attack boost in this current situation. So that is a 49. And we got a special summon. Oh, he's gonna link it off. Oh my god. This is the aggression that we're looking for. We're gonna see a Wonder Heart. Wonder Heart, well, it doesn't really have an effect on summon, but we're gonna see the summon out of the Marble Rock, and 100% is gonna be Coral Anemone, basically the higher link monsters, except for Crystal Heart and the Sea Angel. Okay, when this thing attacks, it's gonna lose 800 attack points. And when the monster gets summoned out, you lose about 600 attack, so gaining a total of 14. 14, that's 30. I believe that's 38 or so. I could be wrong on the math. And Marble Rock is going to proceed to attack. It's going to kill off my Test Panther. So all my monsters are dead. Okay. That's a pretty solid recovery, so considering he got Nibiru the previous turn. Marble Rock during the end phase will re-equip back on, and you can still use all their effects as well, so that's what makes it amazing. And Test Panther is technically dead. Yeah. What's going on? Test Panther. Test Panther Graveyard, please. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Tyler. Now, I have a Kaiju in hand. Kaijus are usually pretty ideal to deal with the Battle Ocean situation. The problem is, Coral Anemone is going to add a card back, and I'm just going to scoop it up right here. There's no way I can recover. He's got a Call by the Grave, and I can't take another big hit from a Wonder Heart. So that proceeds us to Game 3. And Game 3, I guess I'm going first. Why did I choose? Oh my god! Stop! Stop going into my hand, double or nothing. This is not good. I can summon Augustus. That's it. Augustus bastard. Why did I choose to go? Why did I choose to go first? And this is why if you're playing a going second deck, you don't choose to go first. Silent Mining, throwing away into Nibiru. Hey, a dodge full combo here. Oh, this is not good. This is brutal. There's the seahorse. Adding a seahorse. The only reason you would add a seahorse is because you already have the blue tang. Yep. That's the easy read. This is like grade 1 reading level of Yu-Gi-Oh! There are different levels of reading in Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, he's gonna throw in the Mandarin. That lets him get into a Link 4. Now, I'm hoping Tyler remembers that Gladiator Beast monsters, you don't randomly attack into them. I've actually had a local duel where we just jokingly told someone like, hey, you want to just attack my guy for fun? And he's like, yeah, why not? He made the motion. I'm like, oh, you attack my monster, I'm tagging into my deck to tag out to Bestiary and then go into Gazers to pop your board. Jokingly, guys. Yeah, well, like, it was not a joke to him after that point. Shoutouts to you, Triff. Shoutouts to you, Triff. Sorry, that was a laugh at your expense. Okay. Actually, you're unbanned now, aren't you, Triff? Well, maybe one day you'll do a guest commentary with me. I'm putting it in here right now. I'm extending my invite for Triff Gaming. If there's a pendulum matchup, I will put you into the commentary. Alright? Alright. Wouldn't you guys like to see that? Make sure you guys hit thumbs up to know that you guys would like to see that. Put Triff into the commentary. I wish I could do like more commentary, but I just came back from the airport. And I didn't go to London. Actually, I was just picking someone up. So our Battle Ocean, Sea Angel into our, there it is. There's everything. Mandarin, Link 3, Link 4. I wonder what he's going to do. I don't think he realizes he needs to clear the Augustus. That gives me some hope. He's gonna revive the Sea Angel. He's gonna proceed to link those two up, probably into a Crystal Heart. Now, Crystal Heart in the extra monster zone is something that people forget. It behaves much like a marbled rock. It is unaffected by monster effects, so that's why some people go into the Crystal Heart pretty early on in the combo, and they just don't go too far. They skip the entire step of Coral Anemone, so that the 4th summon is the Crystal Heart. 5th summon will go into the Marbled Rock. Yeah, and they skip Coral Anemone altogether. So that's just something you guys can think about. So that is now unaffected by monster, basically all card effects while the field spell is up. And I'm going to call by the grave that particular card, so you can't equip it. Oh, actually you can. I believe the field spell does not target. But I'm activating that anyway, just so that my opponent does not gain back one of his cards. And if he goes into, well, I guess he won't go into it the next turn. But hopefully, it's not too crazy. I'm gonna read the card now. Yeah, I believe it does not target. If it does not target, you get to just choose 3 and just re-equip it, so it's fine. Just continue to equip, so you can maximize the amount of damage you can output. Oh, he's putting on that Crystal Heart. And now he's playing Pot. So, once you do your whole combo, Pot of Desires is, like, that's the best timing for Pot of Desires. Everything that you want to use is already used. So, you can only get pluses at this point. You're not going to cripple yourself. Drawing into another pot, that would suck, but, well, that's always the problem with Pot of Desires. Pot into pot. Just stop. Now, Kaiju is a pretty decent monster to throw at this particular big marbled rock. There's a lot of rocks in this game. There's Nibirus, there's marbled rock. I have Nibiru. Please attack. Attack me to it, man. I am too kind. I showed him the problem. I did not jokingly make him attack. Is he actually attacking? No, no, he's not attacking. But you made the motion, Tyler. You made the motion. No. We're friendly here whenever we do these feature matches. We're joking, we're chatting. We know what's going on. We know what's a joke, what's not a joke. What was the top deck there? Oh, I drew into a quest. That's actually not that bad. Okay, I am very scared of his back row, to say the least. But I can definitely just give him a Kaiju. There goes the Marble Rock, and there's no Coral Anemone, so there is nothing to add back, and I can definitely run that thing over with my copy of Augustus. And even if my Augustus dies, it's fine. I think that should have been the better play. The problem is, the monster, the Kaiju, is also a water Kaiju, which means it can be used as material for Coral Anemone. Just attack, Tom. Just attack. The attacking is the better play. Attacking is the better play. This one, even if it gets lost wind, it won't die. But you can't attack in. Attack. That's getting lost wind, isn't it? No! Oh, Dynamiscus. Oh, whoa! Well, I think it's over. Last card in hand, double or nothing, buddy. Well, that turned around very quickly. Traps. They do a lot of things. Okay. I think at this point we can both say it's pretty much over. He has an Ash in hand, so even if I did somehow manage to do a tag in, he would have Ashed it. And summon out the Blue Tang. Blue Tang clan. Seahorse? Is it gonna be Seahorse? Another Mandarin. Yeah, second Mandarin. That's why you play multiple copies of Mandarin, so that your blue tank can keep going. Until we get the Pascalis, that's what we do. And that's what we do. If you activate a trap, you can set up the Dynamiscus out of the graveyard. No, he's keeping the Kaiju. If you keep the Kaiju, you can't get Kaiju'd anymore. Well, you know what? That's a pretty good strategy. If you get Kaiju as a Marincess, you just keep the Kaiju, and if you can keep the Kaiju alive. Yeah. Yeah, double or nothing. We're right now just... I basically have already scooped. I want to see how he's going to kill me. I guess we get to learn more about the Marincess combo, recovery, same play over and over again. So what do you guys think about this matchup here? Where did things go wrong for me? Let me know down in the comment section. Personally, I think the biggest thing that I made as a mistake was that I chose to go first as a going second deck. So that's why siding matters a lot. I should have sided out most of the cards if I chose to go first. But he had a Nibiru anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to full combo. Should have chose to go second. That was probably the biggest mistake I made. So the game was basically over before the game 3 even started. Ugh. Okay, there's the Wonderheart. Wonderheart, might as well get your full-on equip. We're playing with waters here. Oh my god. That Marble Rock equip is one of the best things for the deck, especially if you have Wonderheart on the field. You just summon a Marble Rock, add another card. That is just pure advantage. Oh, if you swing into a Wonderheart and it summons out a monster, that Wonderheart can't die, and they don't take damage. A lot of these boss monsters from Marincess are like that, and I'm gonna take a swing. You know what? I already scooped, so we're good. We Gucci. Doosh, 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 doosh. I got one punch. Good game, Tyler. Congratulations for destroying me on camera. This video is brought to you by, I guess, Imperium Duelist from the Mat stuff. Anyways, summary of this matchup is Don't go first when you have a going second deck. You will cripple yourself. Just go blind second regardless. So game 1, I took full control because the Battle Ocean, the Imperial Order kind of killed him. Game 2, I Nibiru'd, but he had full on recovery, and I made a pretty severe misplay when I tried to combo. And game 3, that Dynamiscus basically ended my career. So that is it. All I got for this one. So if you guys enjoyed this live duel and this feature match, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, don't forget subscribing and ding the notification bell. Love you guys. Really appreciate it. If you guys enjoy this stuff, well, I'm going to try to do more live duels, especially try to get that Dream Mirror match, which is a bit of a gong show, but we're going to try to put that one out there, and more meta stuff coming up very soon. So love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.